Hey, what's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the Woo Woo Room. I think, you know what? I'm actually going to change the name of this shit. You're going to change this shit to the Woo Woo Room because I like that. Welcome back. This is actually my first reading video, so I'm really pretty excited. Today, this is going to be short because I want to take a nap before I go to work. Because my folks have just, I feel like I'm entering into this stage where I'm just not trying to force shit anymore. And not every reading I has to do, not every reading I do has to be an hour long. So it's going to be interesting trying to keep it short today. I'm just going to do some general messages from the ancestors real quick. Hold on, let me check my rice. I'm making myself some rice. Hold on. Okay. All right, so now they're telling me to get some daggone incense. Hold on. This morning I burned some cinnamon incense, and I was like, oh, I want something spiritual, but things have the meaning that we assign to them, and cinnamon is definitely spiritual. Like, I guess I was just looking for something that was more help me get in tune, but it was like, girl, just burn that. So I'm going to be reading from my Rider-Waite deck. Also, I want to shout out another channel because there have been like 2 women specifically that I watched on here who have really inspired me to step into this as well. And one of them is Southern Belle Tarot. She does all different kinds of readings. She does a lot of celebrity readings, which have been like creepily accurate. She does missing person, murder mystery. She does just like pick a picture and then, you know, like that sort of vibe. And then there's this other one who I've been watching for years now. Her name is Queen Cup Tarot. And when I first started being like client facing and giving readings to people, I wasn't praying beforehand. I was just kind of like jumping into it. And then after watching her, I kind of like took the meat and potatoes for me of her prayer and kind of adapted it into my own. So I just always want to give Black women credit where credit is due. Please go and support those channels. Queen Cup does, like, she does retreats. She sells frankincense. I don't know if she still does personal readings, but her readings are so powerful. Like, they're both just operating in Supreme High Priestess energy, and I fucking love them. So I don't know if we'll ever see this, but shout out to you guys, and thank you very much for all of your work. It's very meaningful, and it has helped and inspired me so much. So what we're going to do is we're going to do just like a quick little spread. I have the Rider-Waite deck, and I have an Oracle deck that my best friend gave me for my birthday. This is the Astro Codes Oracle, and like the art in here is so gorgeous. Like, it is so pretty. Look at the Jupiter card. Oh boy. Okay. So let me just get a little sip of water. All right. So we're gonna pray briefly, and then we'll get down to brass tacks, okay? Cinnamon is such a beautiful smell. It's very abundant smelling, and it's Jupiter Day. It's Thursday. I might also talk about that too at some point in another video, but all right. Thank you, God, universe, source, creator, ancestors, guardian angels, ascended masters, spirit guides, familiars, and to all of the spirits that are working and walking with us according to our highest good. Please allow this video to find the people that it is meant to find. Create in me a clean heart and renew a right spirit within me. Prepare me and my vessel to be used according to my mission and my calling and my destiny. If anything is said of my mouth that is not unto the collective's highest good, or an expression of only the truth, may it be forgotten and may I be forgiven. Please speak to me and through me clearly and concisely in ways that the collective will enter and understand and integrate into their timelines over time with ease, peace, love, favor, wisdom, discernment, integrity, honor, truth, and all that is righteous and holy. And with all that is righteous and holy that I have available to give from my saucer and not my cup, I give in a spirit of gratitude. I say Ashe and I say Amen. All right. Ancestors, what messages do you have for us today? What messages do you have for us today? All right, something about being creative. Creative solutions. Looking at things on their head, turning something upside down. Things have the meaning that we give to them. I was watching a video before I started this that was talking about how life is meaningless. And that's a great gift because we give meaning to the experiences that we have in our life. So if you're going through like a hard time, and you choose to see it as something that is a process that is unfolding for your highest good, or, you know, or just, yeah, like for a process that's unfolding for your highest good, then that is what you will get. I think our ancestors really want us to focus on our mindset about how we're looking at a situation or a person, experience. What messages do you have for us today, ancestors? Thank you. Judgment. Accepting a truth that has been revealed to you. I'm hearing that this is interesting. I did a reading for my best friend. She like dropped by my house this morning, and I love her because like I gave her the spare key to my apartment, like in case anything happens, because like my mom is like not in the state anymore. And I love having someone that I trust who can like just drop by. But we did a reading earlier, and like some of the I'm being reminded of that. I'm not going to put all her business on Front Street, but people show us who they are through their behaviors. And when you're getting a wake-up call to who someone really is in your life, take heed. Okay? What else do you have for us, Spirit? Two of Pentacles in reverse. Also, this is like something I learned from Southern Belle, was to like do research on the tarot and their astrological and planetary associations, and you write them on your cards because it helps you and adds like a deeper level of, or just like it adds a little spice to your readings. So this is Capricorn and Jupiter, and it's cardinal energy. Okay. Three of Pentacles. So I definitely feel like this is about work and relationships. So some of us are getting a wake-up call to a work situation, and how it's not allowing us to balance, to have a healthy balance in our lives. How the people that like we may have a certain vision for something, or like how something should be done at work, or we may have like an idea, or like the judgment card like is kind of giving like you got a download from spirit, and you're like, oh, that's a great idea, and you're like trying to express it, and maybe I need to look at the Two of Pentacles a little bit more, but when you start implementing your vision at work and other people are looking at it and they're like, they're judging it, maybe not maybe what am I trying to say? We are coming up on a Mercury retrograde. My mouth is like blah, blah, blah. But maybe people aren't as receptive to the ideas that you're bringing to work. Or maybe you're realizing that like these, we have the Four of Pentacles in reverse on the bottom. These people ain't doing no work. They're just kind of like looking at the work he's doing and making comments about it. But if you're pulling most of the weight at work, that's causing you to be in it's causing you to be a little stressed out. We have Temperance here. It's a Sagittarius card. All kind of cards falling out. And the Seven of Cups in reverse. This is Scorpio and Venus energy. This is fixed energy. All right, so give me a second. I feel like we're in a hectic, some of us are in a hectic work environment, and we're trying to find balance. I also see the Hangman in reverse. So this is like, this kind of just reminds me of, you know, not like we're just doing too much and we're stressed out. We're some of us are losing sleep over work. If you're in management, or if you're in management and you're in a leadership position and you find yourself like pulling the brunt, or like, you know, pulling the entire team and like really holding up everyone at work, and it's a detriment to yourself and your mental health, then you may need to pursue other employment opportunities. And they were talking about, like when I was just channeling and I was shuffling, they were talking about creative solutions. So what creative solutions can you implement at work? How can you maybe get people inspired and motivated at work? Or do you need to pull away from work and pursue other opportunities? Is that the creative solution for you? Because whatever you're doing at work right now is causing an imbalance, and it's causing you to be stressed the fuck out. Literally losing sleep. Okay. And then we have the Three of Pentacles, and under that is the Seven of Cups in reverse. The Seven of Cups in reverse speaks about many options. It can also speak about someone who is extremely manipulative. Okay, we have someone here like who is disconnected from their higher self. We see, and when I see angels in the tarot, I associate that with the higher self. So we have two angels here. We have Temperance and the Judgment card, and then we have a person with like this towel, sheets, whatever, like they're a shroud or whatever the fuck, it's like over their head. And there's like all these options around them, and this is like a person who's like orchestrating all of this. So this is a card that speaks about illusions, manipulation, people operating in shadow energy, dark energy, and I definitely feel like there's two people. This is about work relationships. There's two people at work here who are manipulative, who try to shoot down every idea that you have, and that is like harmful to someone's creative process. That's harmful to your intuition. Where's my other hoodie sleeve at? I began so saturated. But that's like harmful to your intuition. You need to be in a space where you can trust yourself to make decisions, and that you're given the freedom and the respect to operate in your fullness as a creative. And if your workplace does not offer that to you, then you might want to shift. Okay. Let's see what the Astro Codes Oracle has for us. Ancestors, can you give us a little bit more? Give us a little bit more. I love these cards so much. Thank you to my baby Tressa. I just got like a wave of gratitude for her. I just adore her. Ancestors, Spirit, give us more. Give us more about this work situation. I'm also hearing, before I even talk about the Astro Codes, that the Hangman in reverse is like, you need to pull back your energy. You're doing way too much. You're doing too much at work. Do what is in your job description. If something is in your job description, to do it, and someone tries to manipulate you and is criticizing what you're doing, you just simply remind them, honey, this is my job. Like, however y'all say that in corporate, respectfully, this is my job and I'm going to do my job, you know? Or what thoughts do you have? You know, what thoughts do you have that can make this better? And maybe, you know, you could work with that person. I feel like this is a person who you typically butt heads with at work. Maybe you could find a way to a creative solution to working with this person, and by having their input, it could improve the relationship and or make something better out of what you originally came up with. Spirit, what else do you have for us today? Talk to me more about this work situation. 8th house, mystery. That goes along with a lot of the Scorpio energy that we were seeing. Progressions and journey. 5th house and passion. So this is definitely talking about some creative stuff. I'm still learning this deck, and I'm a reader who is not opposed to pulling out a book in the middle of a reading. So we're going to look at the 8th house, which is on page 108. Mystery. Okay, this is the 8th house card. Isn't that art beautiful? It's so pretty. Okay, if you're a chart where a village map, the 8th house would be on the corner of the red light district next to a mortuary and a savings and loan bank. That is so well said. It is a private house where we deal with things we don't like to talk about in public: sex, death, debt, loans, psychic phenomenon. Here we deal with other people's resources and how they are exchanged: money, bodies, thoughts, work, and how we inherit goods and attitudes. This house can feel uncomfortable, but it's a place where we can transform. Pull back from oversharing at work. I feel like you probably have some good friends at work. You know, it's okay to share parts of your life with them, but if there are certain other people in the room, like the people who be in this energy, like they will use what you say against you, or it could affect, like, especially if you're in management, you want to hold up a professional posture about yourself and a demeanor about yourself, and your subordinates do not need to know what's going on in your personal life. There are certain things that you do not need to be discussing at work. And if you're laying in bed at night losing sleep over the things that you said at work, then, you know, maybe reassess or create, maintain, and sustain healthy boundaries with yourself about what you are and are not going to be discussing around certain people and at your workplace. Okay, assess the power dynamics between you and other people around important resources like money and inheritances. Notice if a relative or boss withholds money until you behave, or if you or a lover withholds sex until some other need is met. So this is talking to me a little bit about the ways in which we manipulate to get what we want out of people. Okay, if you can, like, there are certain ways that you can go about that I don't know if I would call it manipulative, but creative solutions to working and being in close quarters, whether it's working or any other interpersonal relationship with other people. And if you need something from your boss, like, you have to kind of gauge what kind of mood they're in before you ask them. There's a right time and a right place to bring something up. So creative solutions and communication. This is also talking about power dynamics. Like, I feel like you could be maybe competing with someone else again about or for a promotion, or for influence in the workplace, trying to get next to someone who has, like, you and another person, or maybe two other people, are trying to get next to a person who has a lot of influence in the higher up realms of where you work, so that maybe your ideas or your raise will be approved, or whatever the case may be. And I've been getting a download too, that if you move with integrity, hopefully we all know this, but moving with integrity and trusting that you do not have to sneak and lie and cheat and steal to get ahead, and trusting that the ancestors and the creator will supply your needs for you, is the best way. Because then, like, of course we all make mistakes, but if you intentionally do something that you could have avoided, then now you're gonna have to pay karma for that. And any fruit that is born from a soil that is like laced with sneaky energy, lies, deceit, manipulation, theft, or anything of that nature, like, you will have to, it won't be a fruit that you can eat on. It'll go sour pretty fast. Okay. So let's move with integrity. Okay. We don't have to be sneaky and manipulative to get the raise, and if you don't get what it is that you're looking for, like, one thing about Scorpio and knowing your value and what you bring to the table, versus what someone else can offer you in return for that. If you're not getting the appropriate return on your investment from your job or relationship or what have you, then you need to remove your energy or come up with a creative solution to the problem, or stop doing so much and pull back your energy. Okay. Action. Assess the power dynamics. Okay, I read that already. Just get clear in your own mind if anyone is pulling strings, okay, and trying to heal dysfunctional dynamics with clear and healthy boundaries. Seduce honestly. Not all strange sexual dynamics or unusual financial arrangements are a problem. Understand your peculiarities and don't feel coerced or controlled by them. Seduce honestly. Yeah, it's talking about that integrity. And I'm hearing mind your damn business. Dynamics or unusual financial arrangements are a problem. If you understand your peculiarities and don't feel coerced or controlled by them, they are just a part of who you are. Financial investors and advisors, consultants, ministers, lovers, intuitives, brain trusts, auctioneers, and investigators all work with the 8th house affairs. If they work with integrity, do so productively, okay? Develop your 2nd house resources, your own money, your sense of self-worth, and your self-esteem. and body confidence to strengthen your freedom and bargaining power and operate in this realm with grace. Engage in the resources handed to you, but make your own judgment calls. Okay, do not let other people influence what you know to be right or a decision that you know needs to be made. Okay, you can accept input, like remain teachable, remain open, but at the end of the day, like take the meat and potatoes and leave the bones. Okay. There's a lot of Scorpio energy in this spread as well. And what I say too is, and I think I learned this from Queen Cup. She says, when you're in Aries season, you also need to be working with Libra. So everything exists everything in astrology has like polarities, right? So if you're in Taurus season, you want to be working with Scorpio. If you're in Aries season, you want to be working with Libra, so that you can have a balance and stop living in extremes. Some of us, there's an energy in this spread of wanting everything for nothing. Scorpio don't operate like that. An evolved Scorpio doesn't operate like that. Okay? Do things from a place of abundance. If you need to pull back your energy, trust that whatever needs to occur will occur, and that you don't have to carry it all. You don't have to control every player on the board or every part of a situation. Okay, you control you, and let everybody else do the same. Okay. The 8th house calls for one last freedom, to acknowledge that death exists and to be fully alive in response. Allow for the transitions that need to occur. Okay. Yeah, death. Like, you're having a lot of anxiety about an inevitable ending, possibly of you working where you're working. Because I feel like you know that this isn't the place for you. You know you're not going to get the raise that you're asking for. You know that this isn't a healthy place for your creative solutions and creative abilities to thrive. And you know that there's like too much manipulation and too much games and too many people watching from the sidelines but not wanting to get in the game but having an opinion about everything you do. It can be tempting to manipulate by withholding love, power, or money, and hard to step away when someone else is jerking those chains. Okay. Gift. Face your worst fears and step through. Feel that liberation. The trap of manipulation falls away when you don't bite the hook. So people can only manipulate you if you allow them. This is getting long. All right, I'm gonna not hurry, but I'm gonna get through these next two cards. This is progressions. Progressions. Progressions in Journey 128. The planets continuously move through time and space. When you are born, you imprint the patterns of that moment, which are described in your natal chart, but the planets keep moving, and you also imprint the patterns they make as they progress through those first few months. These progressions sketch out the big sweeping journey of your life. You live that pattern out at roughly a rate of a year to a day, or for the rest of your life. Once you were born, you can't choose the cycles you live through, but you can always choose how you respond. Progressions do not speak of a passing thing, but to the big sweeping arcs of karmic fate, to your soul's journey. Your present situation may not make sense in the short term, but it has more to do with big karmic patterns and how those intersect with the karmic patterns of the world's progress, and less to do with your daily existence. I'm hearing like it's highlighting the major arcana cards of Temperance and Judgment. So you're learning, like part of this pattern for you that you're going through at work is learning to take heed to what when something reveals itself to you, accept it for what it is. Stop trying to make it what you want it to be. If it ain't it, it ain't it, baby. Stop trying to force yourself and shrink yourself to fit into these environments where your creative gifts are being rejected or even judged or made fun of. And then with temperance, I'm hearing philosophies. Like, I feel like there's a lot of people around you who just are very small-minded. And it's just not helping you to grow. You need to be surrounded by people who are, who think big, who have an abundant mindset. People who manipulate and try to control are coming from a place of lack. Okay, you want abundance. You need to be surrounded by abundant mindsets and abundant people. Okay, and not just people who have a lot of money, because that doesn't mean shit. You can have a lot of money. You can be rich in the bank, but completely broke in character. Okay, i.e. why we manipulate. Stand back and look at your life's journey. Think of the years you engaged with the world and the years you needed time for more personal work. Consider making a timeline or painting a landscape to see where you are in those big sweeping patterns. The peaks and valleys, okay? The situation may feel fated, but the outcome is not predestined. It receives the meaning and takes on the meaning that you give to it. Though you may feel uncomfortable, you always have a choice about how you respond and where you go. To help guide you in the moment, consider where you would like to be at the end of your life, a far, distant point, and look back. Let this future become your lighthouse to guide you, even though you may have to go around the rocks and work with the tides, like, where's that card? Work with the tides in the tumultuous seasons of life. Okay, and even the devastating endings, but the sun is still shining in that background. Okay, let your lighthouse guide you. This is not a small obstacle or opportunity. This is part of a complex pattern. Every choice you make changes how it unfolds. The gift is trust the tides and set your own sails. And then the fifth house. Fifth house is passion. This is the card for progressions. And this is the card for the fifth house. Looks like an easel and some flowers. It's just very creative and even a little bit of kind of feminine energy it's giving. Yeah, we have like a little heart on the container, or like the little tin that's holding the paintbrushes. We have an easel and we have some flowers. Okay, if your chart was a village map, the fifth house indicates, or it might be an outdoor cafe on the square where romance hovers, teenagers meet, children run around the edges, music wafts, a poet speaks. Here, people take risks. The fifth house speaks of our capacity to love in the form of affairs, romance, self-expression, creative processes, investments, and performance. Action. Ponder your loves and longings, whatever activates your heart, and ask yourself what you love enough to share with the whole world. This is that for me, this right here. The fifth house asks you to believe in yourself and put this activated heart into action. Think of what activates the sparkly magic you feel when your artistic muse plays with you. Remember what stirs the first twinkle in the eye of a new relationship, the luminous quality of the beginnings of an affair. No matter your age, Your inner adolescent sparks your creative process. I'm being reminded of like the page. Oh, we even have the Lovers as the next card here. Leo. This card kind of looks like it's defending something, but I feel like that's you like really passionately pursuing something. No matter your age, your inner adolescence sparks your creative process. To nurture that spark, be playful. Grab a spontaneous moment and let your imagination wander. Look for a work culture that encourages playful, creative risk-taking and adventurous collaboration. Okay? And exploration. This is where juicy new ideas arise. To form a good foundation for partnership, don't skip the courtship. Learn how to bring each other joy and come back to renew that spark in the years ahead. Courtship is what it's the pre-game to getting into a relationship. We are vetting each other. When you go, because I feel like you're going to be transitioning, whoever this is for, we're going to be transitioning out of a work environment that does not allow for our creative juices to flow. When you go on that next interview, you vet them people like they're vetting you. Because you think you need them for money, realistically, you don't. That's a topic for another video. They need you more than you need them. And the thing about Scorpio is like, Scorpio needs to be very careful of who it gives its energy to, because Scorpio is power. Who are you going to allow to have access to your power? Period. Okay? The 5th house speaks of the children of the heart, of the arts, and of the body. The desire for a child, a love affair, the first stirrings of a book or sculpture, or the first notes of a song are sparks for this creation. The 5th house asks you to take a risk, and you may need to invest in materials and be disciplined to manifest your desires. So if you need to purchase paintbrushes or clay or markers or sewing, I'm seeing somebody doing some sewing. Like, what is your creative passion? I don't give a shit if you're making like resin trays. Like, one of my clients actually makes really cool resin stuff. Like, do you need to get like a better computer, or like how can you invest and purchase the materials for you to be able to really pursue your passions? Like, I had to go buy myself a new ring light. I'm a root worker, so I have to stay up on my herbs and my incenses, and I have a working altar here in my home, so I have to have candles and clean filtered water for my ancestors to drink. Getting new tarot cards, sitting down and doing a study. Like, I just recently went and bought, it was like $1. Like, I got a pack of like 3 really pretty journals. Then one I'm going to use for my tarot study, one I'm going to use for astrology, and I don't know what I'm going to use the other one for, but at least I have one, so how can you, what do you need to purchase in order to invest in your gift? Bring your inner adolescent out to play, but watch that it doesn't get stuck in a self-centered place, swept up in the thrill of creation, and damn the consequences. Let your light shine. Let it be a gift to all the world. Your instructions are to play, create, love, inspire, and be glorious. Okay? Which I don't think that you're able to do at your current job. It is like literally, it's like when I think about the current job situation, it's all air, it's all pentacles, and it's just like very logical and like material. Like, there's no room for water, there's no room for emotion, there's no room for fire and passion and creativity. It's just like air and pentacles. Okay, and then the water that is there, it's the 7 of Cups, and it's someone trying to play on your emotions and be manipulative. So that is your reading. That is our reading for the day. I hope that this finds you all well. And until next time, I love y'all.